Facebook. Hey everybody, I'm on live. I like that. Okay, and looks like I'm on live too on YouTube as well. So I'm so grateful to be before you guys tonight. Okay, and this is a live show on Facebook as well as my first time doing the live here on YouTube. And so um, let's see if this is going here. Okay, it don't look like it is. So let's see here. We're gonna get this party started here, so it can kind of deal with whatever. Okay, now we can start now. Okay, so we're gonna come back in, which is really nice, and let's see what we can do here to get it started. So we're gonna go live. Let's see. Sometimes it's hard to do that. Okay. You know, sometimes I'm trying to do a live, and I'm going to make sure I don't do this again because get all this out, including that, and we're going to see what we can do to get it started because I usually don't go live on YouTube, but I'm going to see if I can do this. I hate when I come on, and what I'm probably going to have to do is end this live here, okay? But I'm not going to let it happen too fast, okay? So we'll just keep it there and see why later, okay? We'll just keep it there. Anyway, Happy New Year's month to everyone. And I came on because this is Smooth Vibes Only, and this is the Loop at Robin Whitfield's TV. And I'm going to try to make this, there you go. I'm going to try to make this as low as I can to get this back going again. So I'm going to get all these little pop-ups and all this out the way so we could continue to do this live. Anyway, first I want to give shout out to those that are on the platforms. You know, I have to get back in touch with this live laptop thing, you know, but I wanted to come on to give a shout out to Shore Memorial Hospital first. You know, I just spent the whole day there. Not the whole day, but I got there a little bit today. And they got, Shore Memorial Hospital is one of the number one hospitals on the planet. Y'all know I say that all the time to me. Why? Because I live here. And it's in this community, you know, and shout out to Atlantic Care as well. And, but, you know, when it's time for Atlantic Care, I talk about them, but this show is about Shore Memorial Hospital, and I wanted to come on to them and thank them so much for being able to take care of my peoples there. There's a surgeon called Dr. Millie, and he's a surgeon that's on staff there, an attending surgeon. And so he took care of my people's, like in an emergency situation that I knew that he needed as a nurse myself, you know. And so I just want to give him a shout out. Millili is his last name. And he works there, right there in Summers Point, New Jersey. He's a great attendant, and they give quality care there. And I'm so grateful that he took care of my peoples, you know. Also, Dr. Merchant is an attending doctor there. And so he's wonderful. He's right there on the tele unit, and you know, Doctor, it's not he. It's not a he. It's a she. Excuse me. Dr. Merchant is a lady, and so she's an excellent doctor, and I want to give a shout out to her there at Shore Memorial Hospital there in Summers Point, New Jersey, and also Papa Tamales, infectious disease doctor. Papa Tamales been around a long time, and I'm gonna tell you guys, he has a daughter now that's been with him in his office for practice for 2 months now. Young girl, she taking care of my husband so well, and I just want to give a shout out to her because maybe to help somebody else in the community, you know. So I wanted to give a shout out because she really did an outstanding job, as well as her father helped save my life when I was there and had to have 4 wound vacs flying home from Georgia, and getting some things done to my body that I needed, after losing all that weight, and my smallest was 168 pounds. You can hold up flaps if you've been over 400 pounds. And so when I flew home and had some complications because my protein levels was low. When your protein levels is low, it's like having low. It's called a low albumin level, and so my albumin level was low, and so it wouldn't heal. It just opened right up, and he and so when I flew home, Papa Tamales, her father, helped save my life right there at Atlantic Care in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So I just want to give a shout out to her and her father for helping my peoples and making sure that everything was okay, as well as, all this could not have happened without God being first. It's just a miracle, and I thank the Lord for that. And also, there's a lot going on in our community, and I just thank God. I met a young man there, and he was a roommate of my husband, and I just want to give a shout out to him. Sometimes you go there, and you're looking for something else, and God uses a person to give you some answers. So, and help you to heal from what you are going through. So, he was sitting there and he was telling me all about Atlantic City, New Jersey. And so, and I want to share that because, it's about a history of Atlantic City. And my husband used to tell me that all the time, but I guess I wasn't paying attention to it, or either I heard it and just, said, "Oh, okay, okay." Well, he's about 3 years older than my husband. He's 70, and my husband and the guy was like 73 years old. And when I got there, he was sharing the history of Atlantic City about, all the, there used to be 4 bowling alleys on the boardwalk, and before they built all these things, and and all the movies, 4 different movies, and how the convention center used to be, and it really surprised me, and also all the Still Pier, how it was back then, and how the police officers at that time used to monitor, and he got into all the all the information about, how the mob, stuff, which really was interesting, from Philadelphia, and the mob from Atlantic City, and the mob from New York and stuff, and 73 years old, and he was telling me how they ran Atlantic City. But it was, everybody had to keep their all their stuff in chaos home. And when you came to Atlantic City, it needed to be smooth vibes, and you could bring your children and go out and walk and do those type of things, because when the casinos came in, the kids, it was like a place where the kids couldn't come in. It wasn't an area for children to come. But once that was taken away, we also had the pageant here, and it was a lot of people and a lot of money. Arctic Avenue was filled with stores. I wasn't here then. I wasn't probably even born. And also, Atlantic Avenue and the Boardwalk, all the stores that used to be here, and was built. And it made me satisfied, because you can't change a big city like that. And, you can't change it. You can't bring it back to what it was, but you can keep creating and creating and building. But all those wonderful things, I was like, wow, I wish it was back again. But what it did was, it made me appreciate where God has me at this time. And, I was sharing it with my peoples, my family, so we won't get so stressed on saying, hey, I got to build this, I got to do this, and I got to do that. It really ain't your job to do it. That's why I look at the big organizations here in this community, and I don't, I say, hey, fix it for us, because we don't, small businesses don't have that type of money to put out. The money was coming in, and he was explaining how all the mayors was getting locked up back then, and because of money was not being distributed the right way. People were pocketing money at that time, and so you see a lot of history of different mayors and stuff getting locked up around here in Atlantic City, and it's smooth vibes here. So I was taking that information. I say, I'm a research on that, because a lot of people don't go as far back and sometimes Google don't even do that search, for you. You be all in AI asking for searching different things and searching, or GPT to search it for you for a deeper search, But so my husband remembered a lot, and it was just a great talk on, on both of those roommates sharing their knowledge, and I sat there and listened, but I got something out of it. One thing I got something out of is, I know what direction I need to take, and I know what direction that I need. And it made me very comfortable to know that, God is in the blessing business, and I made the right decisions on my direction as a nonprofit corporation here in this community. And I shared that with my daughter as well, and I'm sharing it with you guys. Hopefully somebody will get something out of it like I did, and so it made me comfortable, and it also made me appreciate where I live here in this community. I realized that God placed us here, and the investment here on the boardwalk is a big investment that God did, and I appreciate living on the boardwalk. I appreciate my community, even what it is now. I appreciate it, what God did, and where I live at, and all those wonderful things, because that's why he said that's why they called Atlantic City the playground of the world. Back then, all those different mobs wanted to, you could come to Atlantic City, but leave your guns home. Leave your rifles and your guns home, because this is a place where families could come and kids could come. Wow, I was saying those things, and all that kind of stuff. But now it's hard to even walk out on the boardwalk, and some of our younger people don't even know that knowledge, or don't even have time to search that knowledge. It's totally different now. We have a lot of different businesses and small businesses trying to get back on their feet. Lots of empty buildings here, big organizations leaving. Like I was saying, we got the one Walgreens and all that kind of stuff. And as a resident here, living here and investing in this area, uh, you know, um, I have to appreciate where I live at so I can live comfortable and not worry about, oh, this is Atlantic City and stuff. Once I heard that, I appreciated what God did and actually living on the boardwalk. It's a blessing. All it is a blessing from God because Atlantic City was and still is today the playground of the world. It just need to be rebuilt. I don't have the money to build it, and I ain't gonna stress over it. But it's for the city to do that. If you're giving money, then it's for them to fix it up, and then you don't have to stress all about that. So hopefully that'll help somebody. Now, I want to give a shout out to all my partners that I partner with to stress. I can't tell other people business because I don't know nothing about other people businesses. I just try to reach out to the ones that want to team up and big organizations to help because we are nonprofit, but we're a profit that can make money, and we're a profit that's not a strict nonprofit in our community. So those things, you partner up, and if you got six or you got five or you got three people that you can go back to, you kind of create your programs or your food drives around that, so you could definitely help people in the community with food or whatever type of business you're doing. Because everybody is doing certain things. Everybody is not giving out food; they're doing other things. But I just want to thank all the organizations that help give to the Healing House Life Center Church, and all the schools and the ones that are, rooting for us in our community to do such a thing. As far as give back in our community, I do thank you so much for helping us this 2025, and we're going to go into 2026 with big hopes and dreams, and knowing that God is going to increase the income. And so I'm sharing some things there because if you see Fulton Bank, and also those are that are interested in that, and also you see some of the what you see job lots, and you see Stark and Stark, and you see all those little things that I post for people to use. Because if somebody didn't post it, for me, I wouldn't have known. And shout out to Chase Bank. I've been with them for years, since 2021. Or either 2020. I'm pretty sure we was with them since 2020 during COVID. And I've never changed my bank. I always was with them. But, things change and you got to move on. It was very hard for me in the midst of everything that we were doing to change banks. And so I just thank God for Chase Bank. And if we ever became a big organization, Chase, and you can keep up to $2,000 into your bank, then hopefully, we'll be able to do that. But as a small organization, and a nonprofit, it's hard to keep at least $2,000 in your bank to be able to give back to your community. And so I just want to thank them. I kept them that long, but keeping $2,000 was very hard for us. So now we with Fulton Bank, and if you take a look down there on the platform, you'll see what their monthly, what you need to do without getting charged all those fees that you cannot pay for to keep your business in good standing and not have marks while we're getting bounce checks and all that kind of stuff. So I do thank you so much for working with us, and now we with a new company, which is really nice that I'm learning and working with and growing with, and don't have to drive so long. Because Chase Bank was 40 minutes from where we live at. We don't have local Chase banks. So there's a few community banks like Fulton Bank is right here in our community, so we don't have to go so far to make deposits. And shout out to my own personal account as well, which is Chime, and Chime is a wonderful bank that you cannot walk into Chime. It's an online bank, and but it's easy to go in your stores, your local stores, and use them where you don't have to go so far to handle your bills. And they do have opportunities where you can save and build your credit up with them as well. And also Care Credit. I wanted to give a shout out to them because they have programs and Care Credit that you can open up bank accounts with them. And I haven't got to that yet, to be able to open up bank accounts with Care Credit. But I do shout out to them and all that kind of stuff. But I'm so grateful to be able to come on and say things about what's going on in our community, and be able to go into the new year with a better mindset, and on what we need to do, and how we need to do it as a corporation just working in our communities. Sometimes people ask me this question, well, where's your church? What is your church home? And all that, and I got the pitch for it, but I don't know about my husband and all that kind of stuff. So I let him do his own thing, and sometimes Rochelle pick up. And so, but I do know that, we're a nonprofit corporation. Anybody want to ask, do we have a building we work out of? And no, we don't. We're online nonprofit corporation. We did, but now we're doing online and community work. Uh, you know, nonprofit give backs in our community. We do that, and that's a wonderful thing. We do got a location right there on Atlantic Avenue, one of the hottest locations in the area, and that is the vending location. And so I'm so grateful that God did that, because I didn't know nothing about it. I was just going on in Trenton, New Jersey, up doing my information. But I learned. I learned in 2025, And if I do a recap of 2025, that's like everybody else is doing. I couldn't go down the line, all the blocks and stuff that I needed to do to take care of things behind the scene. Christmas time, everything gets, everybody come in for small bills. And if you don't stop them, like you come in, you have all these memberships you joined, and you got to watch that card, because you look, everybody taxing it at, I don't care if it's a Google card, it can be a Google card, and your Google Play card, those things you forget about. And so you look and you down at your last penny, and here comes a bill at Christmas time. So I just thank you guys, because you live and you learn. You learn how to budget, and how to keep your credit right, and all those things. And I'm so grateful for that. I try to share with people so they'll know. Well, it looks like it's 24 minutes and 42 seconds. And I'm going to end this video now, this live video. And I just thank you guys for tuning in. Mainly, I wanted to do this shout out to Shore, and thank them so much, and all the wonderful things that's happening in that wonderful hospital. And to the VAs also, that's a whole nother platform. Thank you so much. And Y'all be blessed, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.